It's our pleasure right now to catch up with Alex Obert, three-time Olympian, Olympic bronze medalist. And I didn't know you were looking for a job. You're the new general manager of the water polo team at Pacific. How'd this whole thing come about, Alex?
Classic Coach Graham. The guy is just different in the way he looks at the world, and he thinks of water polo as more at a higher level than maybe any other water polo coach out there. And he saw other high-level programs, mostly in basketball and football, hiring general managers. So one day he called me up. He knew kind of I was itching to get back into the sport. It's been a year since the Olympics. I've officially retired for the second time and said, "Hey, how would you want to come out and be the first general manager at UOP?" And I couldn't say no. Talked to my wife. She was in for it. And that's where we heard it here today. Super excited to get back to a program that gave me so much. And
10 years later, you're a three-time Olympian, Olympic bronze medalist. You've been to, I think, two Pan American Games and three Pan American Games and four World Championships, right? So can you kind of put into words where water polo has taken you in your career and in your life?
I mean, I think it would say it's taken me everywhere. I've been able to travel the world. I met my wife. I have two lovely kids because of water polo. I have countless friends all over the world. Water polo has really been major influence in my entire life, and super happy that I've been able to do that, and super blessed because being able to travel the world and meet new people and just have these relationships everywhere is something I don't think a lot of people get.
So specifically when it comes to the Olympics, what was it like? I mean, you've been to three, obviously. Can you compare one to the next? And I'm guessing Paris probably was the most meaningful because you guys were on the podium, right?
Yeah, I mean, each Olympics is so different, and each quad, kind of that 4 years leading up to it, is like its own, really long season. My first quad, I was still in school at UOP, so I was balancing being a student and a water polo player, or a professional water polo player, kind of. My second one, I was out of school, kind of playing professional and playing the Olympics, which was, a whole new experience. And then my third, I was actually retired for the first 2 years and had gone back to school, got my MBA and master's in finance. And I decided I wanted to make a comeback 1 year out, and my job let me continue working and train. So that was completely different. And then ended up at the podium in 2024. So kind of capped it off, but each one was different. But I wouldn't be standing here today if I didn't have every single one of those experiences.
How do you think the current student athletes on the team are going to react to you being back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. I think they'll be excited just to have another kind of voice. Obviously, things have changed so much. I'm actually going to be staying out here in the Midwest. And so I'll be kind of coming in, flying in remotely, and coming in once, a couple times a year, but meeting a lot with them on Zoom and things like that. So I'll have a little different of a relationship with them. But I think it's also fun to be able to get, and I know as I was a player, to kind of have a player's experience more times than just a coach's experience. Since I just finished playing a year ago, I think I have a little more connection to that, and I can help some of the players with some of maybe a little bit more of that. So
what are you hoping this program looks like a year from now, 5 years from now? Like, what is or have you even thought about it to this point? Like, what is your short-term goal, long-term goal?
Yeah, I mean, I think the goal of Pacific Water Polo is always to win a national championship. And I think that's been the goal since we, took that up in 2011, and then kind of getting as close as we possibly can in 2013, losing in the national championship game in double overtime. Still haunts me to this day, but it's driven me. And then getting back there in 2019. And then just having other days. So I don't think the goals have really changed, but it's how we go about doing it that's going to change. And I think just the way college sports are changing is going to make us do that. I think we're going to have to become more professional, understand how we can manage the roster with roster limits, but at the same time, just bringing in high level talent as much as possible, Pacific, and then holding on to it, which is another thing that's happening in college sports now that didn't really happen when I was there.